there was an idea to bring together a podcast to see if certain movies had a lasting impact on cinema history, to see if they were keystones or copycats. This season on Keystone Copycats, Marvel Madness. Hello and welcome to Keystone Copycats. Of course, Zach. Of course, Zach, and he's of course your other host.
T-I-double-E, the incredible edible egg.
T-I-double-E.
T-I-double-E.
Edible egg.
You like that shit?
Nope. No, I don't.
Oh, you didn't like that shit.
But I feel like our target demographic is not like 60-year-olds who like know what that means.
Oh, I thought that was a thing that like I don't always catch the commercials.
No, it's like when we were
on the
kids.
tube. But yeah, a lot of my references are pretty dated, so
Yeah.
I thought everyone knew about the egg and how incredible
I mean, you know about the egg.
and edible it is.
You know about the egg.
How you doing?
You know, I'm doing. I bought a little power washer yesterday.
Okay.
It's really satisfying, you know.
Is it the little handheld one that I got?
It's not handheld.
Is it the shitty Ryobi thing that I bought?
It's similar, but I bought it at Lowe's, so they don't have Ryobi stuff. It's an electric one.
You didn't show up to work. You got promoted to customer.
I got promoted to
You're
customer.
supposed to go there.
Yeah, I'm a customer. Well, so I was like driving that way, and then I thought like, there's a Lowe's right there, and I won't get stopped by somebody I used to work with, so I'm just gonna go in there.
Yeah, I don't know why anyone would go to Home Depot. It's stupid.
It is stupid. I hate it.
Lowe's is slightly fancier.
Nah, Lowe's sucks
Slightly.
too. Lowe's sucks too. Yeah, it's just
Have I ever gone on a tangent about Ace and how helpful they fucking are?
Ace is helpful.
They're like
a good
double
hardware
the
store.
price, but you go in there and they're gonna fucking help you. And if
Yeah.
they can't, they are very sorry. They're very apologetic.
I was never apologetic when I couldn't help somebody.
Did you even try to help people?
Oh,
Have you
Lord,
ever
no.
helped a person?
Don't plan to.
Oh.
Haven't done it. Not
That
gonna.
answers all of it.
Not gonna. I got a quick question for you.
Okay.
What I have said so far on this show today, this is going to be my best man speech at your wedding. Is this good?
What?
Like what I've said already. Like I'm using this as the speech. Is this good?
No, I wouldn't even do
Talk
a
about the
speech.
power washer?
I would just play it back.
Ooh.
And that way they'll be like, wait a second, Chris is right there. How could this be?
What? What sorcery is this?
Yeah, because all our guests are 60 and over, apparently, our listeners who got that egg reference.
Yeah, they've all got their incredible edible egg pin.
You know how there's the triple R, there's reduce, reuse, recycle?
Yeah.
I found a new R. It's revolt. I'm sorry, not revolt, revolting.
Oh,
So,
sure.
you know
I'd
when-
rather revolt than
you
be
know-
revolting.
Reduce, reuse, recycle. We're going green on the show. Just spoiler, we're going green.
Thanks, calcium.
Thanks, calcium. Magnesium helped. But no, I'm going green. So I decided that, you're not supposed to put food scraps in compost because it like gets a bunch of varmint and they get
Let me tell you
nasty
something.
and
No,
shit.
I did not know that.
Oh, okay, well that's the thing. Like you're not supposed
Eh.
to put like food scraps or anything.
I thought
but
that was like all you were
vegetable
supposed
rinds.
to.
Not meat, like meat, cheese,
Oh,
whatever.
meat.
But if you dump it all in there, it gets really nasty with bugs, and then your chickens love it. I found out
I don't
that
have
you
any.
can take. Well, then my chickens love it.
Okay.
What I found
They come
out
over a lot.
is if you take a bunch of old shit and throw it in the dirt, you don't gotta buy any more chicken feed that those stupid bastards just spread all over the yard instead of actually eating
You
it.
still probably have to feed them.
I made a dispenser. I mean, I don't know what the parts were free because I'm a plumber. I don't know if you guys know that or if you need any services. call
Heavy air
somebody.
quotes on free or
Well, I mean, you guys bought them. Thank you. You guys, this is your old material that I stole from you. I just didn't know. And it's a dispenser. It's got a nice cap, and you put chicken feed in it, and the seed goes down, and it's like a self-feeder. So as they take from it, it keeps filling back up. Well, they found out that if they just make a damn mess of the whole thing, it just goes everywhere. Then they can yell at me about how they're out of food. They're assholes, man. These chickens suck. But
I feel like you're reading a lot of intent into the
minds
of chicken.
When I take the old chicken bones that I eat, when I eat the wings and I throw them in the compost, then they look scandalous. Like, oh, it's a chicken massacre out there.
So you're trying to
cannibals.
You're trying
I'm trying to mad cow the chickens, yeah.
I think you're trying to intimidate them into being like, well, I don't want to be the next pile of bones on the scrap heap.
Well, I found out through laziness when I was cleaning out my fridge of all the health food that I thought I was going to eat, and then I really just bought it to let it die slower. And I threw everything in, all the perishables, all the old cottage cheese and whatever in the compost bin because I didn't feel like walking to the other side of the house. And then I found out, miraculously, that creates bugs. Whoa! And now the chickens are having a field day. It actually worked out perfectly. It was almost like I planned it.
I like that you've done enough drugs in your life that you forget all the lessons that you've already learned about compost and
what are you
everything
talking
else.
About?
You've learned this.
I was told not to put those things in there.
But you did.
No, I didn't till now.
Always do.
You had bones. You had the bones of your enemies, i.e. chickens.
So the
chickens will be happy.
The wings, the dinner that you ate, is your enemy. That's what you're saying. And you defeated it by consuming it.
If I was done with it, then yeah.
And then having a hot, fiery turd later.
I mean, that was unrelated.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. I'm a problem solver, I guess. I create problems and I solve them.
I'll tell you, if I had to use one word to describe you, it would be problem. Now, if I could use two, it would be two problems.
It would be matic.
It would be two problems. That's what it would be.
Two problems don't make a right.
I don't.
That's actually true. Two problems don't make anything right.
No, it just means you have two problems.
Speaking of which, I wish we could clone each other. I like the idea of me and you getting in a fight with me and you.
Well, here's the problem,
be a good
though.
match.
I feel like you would clone me to have an extra me at your house, and then you would just be really annoyed all the time, because I suck. I'm good in small doses, or not.
If I don't invite you to my house now, why would I want another one of you to
I don't know, but you
house?
Suggested we clone ourselves.
Well, I didn't think it through.
Yeah, because that other me is going to need someone to take care of it, and
I think
that's you.
I had the 3 R's. I wanted the 3 P's, the 3 problems. I needed more of me.
Sure.
Because I'm the problem in the problem. I need one more. Oh, hang on. That's 4 P's.
Hang on.
My God.
If I could, the 2 words was 2 problems.
Mm-hmm.
So 5 words, 2 problems plus another problem. That's how I describe you in 5 words.
Okay, I didn't listen. I started thinking about something else. There was a guy that was riding with me to decide if he wanted to work for the company, and all I could think about how I can't say his full name, but his last name was Peter, and his name started with P, and I kept thinking in my head going, pee-pee, all day long, and I realized I'm not the guy that you should judge if you want to work for a company when all day long in my head I'm going, your name's pee-pee.
I also think that,
it was silly.
I think riding around with you is not at all indicative of what working at that company would be like. So it's a trick. You're a bait and switch.
Wait, are you saying saying that they want to work there, or they don't want to work there?
Some people will be like, I rode around with that asshole all day. I don't want to work here. And then some people are like, man, we had fun riding around. It's going to be great working here.
Oh, so
and then
either way, it's misleading.
Yeah, it's misleading either way.
So PP didn't like riding with CP.
That's right. Okay. That's right.
CP
gonna
and PP.
Breeze on past it.
Oh.
Man. I got to tell you something.
I'm good at my job. I know no one's going to believe that I am. I swear to God, I'm good at my job. It's amazing. I don't always understand it either. That's what I was explaining to your wife earlier, is that I just make, I don't know why people like this, but I just name, it'll be a bid that's, twice as high as any other company, but I name it something fun. I'm like, the wifey suite. And they're like, wow, that sounds great.
Sure.
Here's all the money. And I'm like, okay. I'm like,
sure,
just name it silly things. Like the one guy, he was in the Air Force. So I was like, here's the Air Force suite.
This one's called the Admiral.
He's like, right on. And I gave him a Freedom Fighter discount. He's like, hell yeah, brother. People like it.
How much is the Freedom Fighter discount?
Well, $1,400 on the discount.
$1,400 discount? That's a good discount.
That's $13,000 job.
Oh, yeah. So it's like
Yeah.
10.8% or something. Like, it's like...
I didn't do my math right. I just realized that right now that I didn't do 10% right saying that out loud.
No, you didn't.
I'm
you
not
did
that
over.
good at my job.
You gave him over.
That's what he's a patriot.
You're going to get fired for that.
That
extra
only if they listen to the
$100.
podcast. Which
No, I'm going to send in this portion to them to report you.
Oh, I think you'll just be blindly handing it out to people, like on a cassette, hoping they have a tape player.
Yeah, what did you think I meant by send it out?
Just play it at my wedding and try and invite everybody.
I got to tell you something, and it's really important.
Go ahead.
I got to start fucking doing things. I got to start leaving my house and interacting with people because I have become the most fucking bowl of oatmeal human you've ever met in your life.
What does that mean?
It means I'm fucking boring. I got nothing.
Oh.
Nothing happens to me ever.
If you would have said vanilla ice cream, and I said, "Oh yeah, boring."
Oh,
Like,
well, how about you get fucked because vanilla ice cream is delightful and it's a treat. And
is that what you think everyone's doing on the outside? Eating vanilla ice cream? Is that how long it's been since you've been outside?
God, I'd love to just...
Professor Quaker?
I'd love to skip down the avenue, rolling my hoop with my stick, eating a vanilla ice cream. It sounds wonderful.
I ate a Neapolitan ice cream sandwich today.
Oh.
Unrelated.
I don't like the There's something about the combination of the three flavors together that I really dislike.
Well, you don't take a bite of the whole thing.
And if you're a coward...
Plus, that's too long to take a big old bite.
No. You let it get a little soft.
Unless
and then
you got like a big cartoon mouth.
No. You let it get a little soft, and then you bend it into a horseshoe, and you put it in your mouth, and you wear it around like a mouth guard.
You know what? You're right. You do need to get out.
I do. I don't have any stories of interacting with people. Like, nothing weird happens to me because I just sit in my basement and edit videos.
Do you want one of my notes from the week?
Yeah, give me a note.
One.
Give me a note.
Talk about how you were at Starbucks and you got too close to the person in front of you.
So I was at Starbucks.
Okay.
I got too close to the person in front of me.
Uh-huh.
And then I realized there was no one in front of me because I wasn't actually at Starbucks because I don't drink coffee or go out. And I just basically keep myself in a darkened box.
Okay, you had me at the beginning. I love that you tried to take it a different direction. But what the outcome actually was is that, when you're coming up to a drive-thru and you can't quite get to the window to talk to them, and you can hear them talking, and you're
so
like,
frustrating.
you're willing to risk hitting the other person just because you're like, hang on, I'm coming. Like, I don't know why you feel so desperate that you need to communicate at that moment. Like, you're gonna miss you're gonna miss your order in line because you're tardy to it.
Yeah,
and you're just trying so hard to get close to the other car. Like, hang on, I hear you. Hang on.
You're like terrified that the person taking the order is going to be like, well, I guess nobody's there. I'll just go do something else.
Nothing about that makes sense. And every time it happens, I get really, really nervous. I want to pull up and apologize. Like, sorry that I was late. You have to understand. The other car, he was being a jerk.
So I recently watched an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm where Larry tried to walk through the drive-thru at Jack in the Box, and they wouldn't let him, and so then he got in the car with this like stranger who was like, yeah, come on, you can come through with me and like we'll get food, and then just sat in the car and like ate with the guy. But like, would you ever in a drive-thru like just let someone get in your car and like, yeah, come on, we'll go through the drive-thru together? Would you ever do that?
I think I have done that.
Have you done that?
I think I have done
I've walked up to a drive-thru before.
I'm almost oh no, I'm sorry. I picked up a hitchhiker when I was delivering pizza because I was really high, and I happened to be the one time I was driving my boss's car for delivery. I decided to pick up a fucking hitchhiker to help him on his way, and I didn't realize till after I went inside to deliver the pie and came back out, and that he was in the Mustang. That I went, I probably shouldn't have left him in there. Like, fuck. Like, I was just trying to be a nice hippie. Like,
Yeah, you were a hippie for a while.
So no, that wasn't in the drive-thru. I did go through a drive-thru backwards one time when my window was broken.
Yeah.
I had to do that in the old Mazda MX-6.
Huh.
Yeah. I could have opened the door.
Yeah.
I chose not to.
Do you remember when we went out one time and you got too drunk and I drove your Mazda home and it was too small and I had to put my head out the sunroof?
Is that the red one?
Yeah.
So you're like driving, you're like a giraffe.
Like the top, I wasn't
like how you imagine a cartoon giraffe driving a car. That's
no,
how
it wasn't.
You looked?
No. It wasn't like my full head was out, but like the top of my head was like full. It was like in the sunroof for sure because I had to open it.
I was about to say, wait, why?
I think it was tiny.
You do all of that? Yeah, I guess it was kind of small. I remember like that I got that. It was like I got that for a deal. And then I was delivering pizzas in it. And then one day it just stopped working. And I called in because it was my second job. And I called in. I was like, hey, my car broke. And they're like, okay. I'm like, well, I'm not going to get it fixed. And they're like, okay. I'm like, so I just don't work there anymore. And that was it. Like, that's the last time I worked at that place. I was like, I'm just done. Like, my car doesn't work. Like, why would I keep going back? I had another car. That was my pizza delivery car.
Yeah.
And when that one shot, I went, all right, we're done.
No, that's it. I'm done.
I'm like, I'm not putting it in my Mazda 6.
No, that was like a newer car.
It's when I had multiple Mazdas. That's right. Couldn't get enough of them.
Because that was like a newer car that you were like, I'm not going to stink this up with pizza.
The irony is I got that Mazda 6 back, and now that would be the pizza delivery car.
Yeah, it should be. You should deliver pizzas again. I think it was your calling. Do
you think I should?
Yeah, it's your calling.
Okay. How about this? Next week I will come back. I will have applied at pizzeria to deliver. Oh, wait, and gas is expensive.
Okay, here's what I'm suggesting.
I don't know how I'm going to do this.
Here's my pitch.
Okay.
Next week, you come back.
Okay.
We record the podcast while you're on a run delivering me a pizza. And then when you get back and they fire you, you'll have something to talk about.
Done.
All right.
I'm really going to get a job at La Rosa's. You cool with that?
Oh, don't fucking...
What else delivers here?
Nothing.
Even better because
I hate La Rosa's.
I won't care because I'm never going to see those people again in my life when I quit because I'm never going to La Rosa's. I'm going to get a job. I swear to God. I will come back with the job, guys. Well, maybe not next week. It'll be the season finale.
So in a month.
I'll have a job at La Rosa's.
Ugh. For anyone who doesn't know, La Rosa's is a local pizza chain that I hate. It's fucking gross.
I'm excited. I haven't gotten a part-time job in a while since all the times I take part-time jobs.
Yeah, in your life, you've had a lot of like weird part-time jobs.
Remember when I used to like cut the greens on
that country club?
Like country club,
yeah.
and I called off more than I showed up, and then I got fired after I just stopped showing up.
Yeah. Yeah, that was right before we started college.
That job sucked.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever had to wake up
so early in the morning.
I don't know if you ever had to wake up at 5 on the weekends to go do a shitty job for minimum wage, but it's trash.
Yeah. Yeah, I get getting like the second job if you have a job that doesn't pay well and it pays like good, but like having a second job that pays shit is like, oh, I made my week so much worse to get an extra $45. Like, what the fuck am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
It's not worth it.
One time when I called in, the guy said, you can't just call in like this. I was like, I know. And that was it. I was like, but I'm still not coming in.
Yeah, but I am. Like,
yeah. I know. This is ridiculous.
Oh, man, I can't believe me.
Just don't give a fuck, dude.
Oh, boy. Well,
La Rosa's is going to see a different side of me. That's all I know.
So this is our new podcast where we talk about things other than the movie.
Fuck. I hope that La Rosa's manager doesn't listen to this.
I kind of hope he does.
Everyone cross your fingers.
I kind of hope he does.
Oh, because then he's gonna fuck me over. Because then he's gonna hire me and then fire me. Right?
No, he would never. How dare you? But hey, you've got options because there's 2 La Rosas that I'm in their delivery area for some reason, and no other pizza places, which is bullshit.
So I got a 1 in 2 shot at this working.
Yeah, 2 options. Yeah.
All right. You want to talk about the movie?
I don't care.
I don't know. This is strange.
What?
Whoa! I'm gonna jump right into it. When he was like, "Doctor, it's strange." Well, it's up to what's he say?
If you say so.
He's like, "Who am I to say?"
Mr. Doctor.
That was great. The Mr. Doctor was.
That was
perfect.
very funny. There's a lot of good jokes in this movie.
Mm-hmm. The Beyonce one, was improv'd.
What?
It was not written. So that's why later on when he's listening to the headset of Beyonce, they actually added that because of that comment by Benjamin Cumberbatch, man.
So the movie Doctor Strange from 2016, directed by Scott Derrickson and starring Benedict Cumberbatch, Chiwetel Ejiofor, Rachel McAdams, Benedict Wong, Tilda Swinton, Mads Mikkelsen. A lot of good people in this.
Why Kate Blanchett is listed in this, but she's not in the movie. I don't know why.
What?
And then there was a lot of things on Google asking, is she actually in the movie because she's credited?
She's credited in this?
Well, at least as far as I could see.
I didn't see her listed anywhere. I'll look. You do your synopsis and I'll look.
A famous surgeon battles unseen forces bent on destroying our reality.
Dun, dun, dun.
Did you find
Too much? No, not yet. I'm gonna look on Wikipedia. It's not on IMDb.
So I made a comment about magical bonding, like how much bondage they have in this, and then I saw the
bonding or bondage?
No, like how much they restrain them with magic. Those magic orange whips, the flame whips.
Yeah.
And I was gonna make a sexual joke about it, but then later when he's chained to that metal, like I don't even know what it's called. They just keep doing it, is what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of metal magic restraint.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's what they deal with, Like it's like Iron Man using technology to restrain.
Well, I think it's interesting because their whole lives they've been restrained from using this ability, and then they keep being impactful on the other one by repressing their magic, by restraining them. See? That was fucking deep.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, did you get it?
No.
I wanted to do like something.
Horny.
What do I want to say? Smart. I wanted to say something that made me sound like euphoric.
Yeah. Did it work?
Or deep.
You think it worked?
I'm not feeling it as much as I thought it was going to.
No, it's a little rough.
Yep.
Didn't land.
Well, at least I'm not reading on the fucking podcast.
Look, no one knew I was reading because I was responding.
I wanted to
just
let them
fine.
know. I wanted to let them know. Well, yeah, by saying yeah and basically nodding into the mic.
I spoke.
I mean, I guess you're being entertaining.
I don't see her listed anywhere. I think you're mistaken.
Okay.
Where'd you see it?
Who gives a fuck? Who cares, Zach? That's in the past.
See,
it doesn't matter. Hakuna Matata.
I thought we were having a conversation
here. You did think that.
Not doing a best man toast at a wedding. Gonna play this whole goddamn episode, you motherfucker.
There is and once again, we have to live in the present. We can't go forward to Infinity War or Endgame, anything like that. But the wormhole things, you're like, that just solves a lot of problem. Like the holes that they make to
travel
the portals, you're like, that really is just the solution to a lot of this movie that they.
Well, but that is kind of how like Endgame like resolves is like Strange, like the wizards or sorcerers or whatever. They all like teleport everyone there to fight Thanos. So like it does, No,
I'm saying like in Infinity War, like the eccentric like portals over and over when they're fighting Thanos. Like, that really should just be every single battle is just jumping through those wormholes.
Yeah.
Constantly. And then cutting off limbs as you're doing it. Like, that's pretty much how you would fight. Like, the spirit, when they get knocked out of their physical being and they're in the spirit world, I noticed that they're very good fighters. Like, so apparently the body is really holding you back.
No, because they trained. Like, I think they would be good fighters anyway. But
no,
let me ask you this.
Strange was not battling that well. And then when he got knocked when he got stabbed
injured.
And he got knocked into the spirit world, I think
he did better than that?
Yeah, the ability of flight was just his punching game stepped up.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Okay, just to jump forward a little bit in like talk about Infinity War a little bit, just because like I think that's an interesting point you made about the portals. But like when you mentioned like the astral projection thing, why didn't they do that to Thanos? Why didn't Strange just knock his like astral form out of his body and then they take the fucking Infinity Gauntlet? Why did they use that woman to put him to sleep from Guardians of the Galaxy 2? Mantis, yes. Why did they use her to put him to sleep instead of Strange knocking his like soul out of his body to take the gauntlet? I
don't know. I mean, they literally no, I'm sorry, that was Infinity War, not Endgame. Endgame is when Hulk gets knocked out of it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Same reason that like why didn't he cut off the gauntlet with the wormhole like he did earlier to that there was the big Hulk smasher guy. Like,
that would have been smart too.
Like when they're fighting the gauntlet, like why didn't he do that or cut the gems off of it?
Why didn't he open a portal for Thanos' hand to go through and then close it on it so it popped off in some other location that he could then go to and get it,
or his head or anything like that?
I gotta tell you, these Avengers are stupid.
It's almost like this isn't real. It's not based in reality.
What?
But yeah, I mean that's a good point. But watching this movie, I will say, gradually coming from Iron Man and Hulk, when we were talking about some tame fights, this one definitely has just scaled up. Like even from just going from Ant-Man in the series, you're like, okay, this is the big
scaled up. I get it.
This is the big fucking.
You're clever.
The big holy shit moment.
Yeah.
Like
well,
where reality is falling in on itself, and you're like, okay, this is opening the realm to the crazy possibilities of Infinity War.
Yeah, exactly. It opens up like the mystical stuff, which I think is a whole other dimension, the same way that Guardians of the Galaxy opened up the more like interstellar stuff.
Exactly.
Which is really cool too.
And I like that they did mention that too, like, oh, Avengers are physical realm protectors, and this is the magical. Like, they even reference it.
I think that's really cool.
And it was for like, I don't want to say, like, I guess you would call them smart fans, where you're like, okay, cool. Like, they just did the quick gloss over, which sometimes you just need it. Like, oh, well, then are they aware of the Avengers? Like, oh, no, yeah, they take care of that. We already have an agreement.
Right.
It's like just settled real fast.
Oh, yeah, we know that they do this. We do this other
where
thing.
have they been in the whole Avengers fight in New York? They're like, oh, no, they had it under control. Like, we're good.
Yeah.
We're on a mass email.
Yeah. I like this movie. This is a really fun movie.
It was. I did not care about it at all when it first came out. I'm like, I'm going to watch it because I have to, kind of thing.
I saw it at work.
And then when I watched it, I'm still like, okay, it's cool. I remember the ending at the time thinking, oh, that was anticlimactic. And then the second time watching, I'm like, no, that's badass because we've already, once again, doing these movies in a series, we're like, we've already seen this. This is brand new. It's such a fucking cool concept, because how is one guy with magic abilities or not, how is he going to stop a galactic force that literally is more powerful than time, that it doesn't exist? And you're like, oh, by a little loophole. Like, that's fucking so clever because it is just
by breaking the rules, like he does it.
Yeah, he cheats.
Yeah,
like,
which is awesome.
So I remember thinking that it was a dumb ending at the time, and now I'm like, after becoming more of a Marvel fan, I'm like, no, that's very, very smart how they handle it, because you don't see it coming.
Yeah, I remember focusing on Dormammu. I've come to bargain, like, and it just makes me think like about like his American accent, which is like, I don't know.
Before Dormammu has a face. I kept thinking about how it looked like Mr. DNA on steroids, like when he's flying through it. Like maybe like Jurassic Park, like Mr. DNA. Yeah, it's actually another, like, it's a branch of reality.
It's another Dormammu.
That's what happens. Like that's another branch of reality, and Jeff Goldblum is actually warning everyone. He's like, I don't know about this. We shouldn't be fucking with the DNA. It's Dormammu.
Yeah, that's what the D in DNA stands for.
Yeah. What's the rest of it?
It's diribonucleic acid.
Oh. Dormammu nucleic acid.
Dormammu. I love like the aesthetic of this movie. Like everything about it looks so cool. The way that like, you know, the Ancient One and like that opening fight with Mads Mikkelsen, the way that like she folds reality in on itself, and that was like something we had never seen before. Even like with Guardians of the Galaxy, they go into like the interstellar stuff and they see all these other planets and all this really cool stuff that we've never seen before, and we get like the expansion of the universe. But this stays on Earth but expands it in a different way that's like visually so much more interesting than anything we've seen.
We also see magic fans.
Yeah, the magic fans. I remember thinking like the little shield things and the circle. I remember not loving the way they looked at first, but I feel like it really works.
What about the fans?
Those motherfuckers cool you down. Hot day.
I just like how she would deliver them like it was always a little secret, kind of like Gambit. Like, oh, what's behind here? It's my magic fan.
Yeah, and
I'm gonna cool you off.
I thought it was really interesting when she called Mads Mikkelsen Cherie, mon cher.
I have an important question.
Okay.
I forgot I highlighted it. With pens.
Ooh.
I highlighted it with pens.
You pen lighted it.
If someone tried to steal my watch, would you jump in?
I don't give a fuck if they take your watch.
I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it.
Buy a new watch.
A stranger shows up and defends Strange, and he's like, don't take that man's watch. And I was like, Zach wouldn't do that for me.
He is a warrior.
Who?
The guy who defends him.
Oh, Baron?
Mordo.
That's his name. Baron.
No.
Yeah.
No, it isn't. It's
Baron.
Mordo.
No.
It's Chiwetel Ejiofor.
I don't know what that means.
That's the actor. His name's Mordo.
Yeah, Baron.
It's not Baron. Where'd you get that?
I wrote it down.
Did you look up like the Trump Wikipedia and you're talking about the sun?
It was right next to Kate Winslet. I mean, Blanchett.
That's not. You
It
looked
was
at
right
the wrong
next to
movie.
Kate Winslet. It was right next to.
You looked at the wrong
It was on
movie.
the Titanic credits.
You looked at. You looked at Thor Ragnarok.
Listen, when Baron came out, he immediately was his best.
There's
friend.
nobody named Baron.
Okay.
What? I don't even know who you're talking about.
It's Ishiban. What'd you call him?
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
Chiwetelli. Yeah, it's Chiwetelli.
That his name is Mordo.
Mordo?
That's his name. Yes.
It's pronounced Baron then. It's just spelled differently. It's interesting how that happens.
I wonder what movie you watched at the same time on your phone that's got you so mixed up.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I watched almost half of this one, and then I watched what I thought was the other half of it, and I was like, I think I missed some. I missed 20 minutes in the middle, so I had to go back and watch the middle. So I watched the beginning, the end, and then the middle.
That's not a good way. That's not a good order to watch something.
I think that's how. That's
how you
where
got Baron?
That's where it came up.
Yeah.
I think because if you watch it not backwards, but if you just watch it like misaligned, you know.
I do. I really, really.
It's like a Christopher Nolan kind of approach, and their names are different. They're backwards. They're all over the place. It's almost like the what's it called, the Glass Realm, or what's it called,
the mirror dimension.
The mirror dimension. And
so
names are pronounced differently there.
Speaking of Christopher Nolan, do you think the Hong Kong scene was his inspiration for Tenet? That fight at the end with all the backwards stuff.
Backwards
do you think do you think he saw that and was like, I could make a movie where things go backwards. I could do that.
Yeah. I mean, Tenet wasn't bad. It was also just not worth talking about.
Let me tell you something, though. The more I think about Tenet, the more I'm like, I think it was kind of cool. I might watch it again.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it again.
Yeah.
I need to give it a little bit longer, but I'm going to watch it again. But in Inception, there's no way you can't think of Inception when you watch this movie.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this owes a lot to Inception, the visuals for sure.
Mm-hmm. It was definitely hard to keep up with, but I think that's fine because
I think it's supposed to be
when he's first blasted into the cosmos, just show him that the mystics are real. I like how intense, rushing. What do I want to say? Propulsive it was.
Yeah,
just watching it because you feel
kinetic.
You
it's
feel
all
uncomfortable watching it. So let alone flying through space when he's literally yelling "stop," and you're like, yeah, that's what you would do. Like you would have so much. What do I want to say?
Fear?
No, just what's dizziness? What do I want? What's the word I want to use? Your equilibrium would be thrown.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So even watching it was uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Vertigo.
Vertigo. Like the movie.
Like the movie that I wanted to say.
How many Hitchcock movies have you seen?
0.
Really? You've never seen Rear Window or Psycho?
I've seen enough of Psycho.
Psycho's good. Psycho's good, and it's weird that it almost takes a hard turn. Well, that's Citizen Kane, and that's Orson Welles.
I saw it.
It's good. I like it.
I mean, the opening is still confusing how they did that shot through the window.
Yeah.
How they do it?
I don't know.
Magic? Is it movie magic? It blew me away last time. Went with the Captain America. Could not conceive how they got his body to look like that.
So, we should watch some Hitchcock movies, just for fun.
I'm good. Would you? Do you think? Because you're a pragmatist, right?
No.
If you were shown all that, then kicked out, would you want to continue life without knowing the answers, or in your head you would have to know?
Oh no, I want to know.
You would have.
I'm so curious.
There'd be no option.
But here's the thing:
about going back to your regular life.
You know how there are two wolves in your head, and one of them wants to know all of the knowledge in the world, and the other one is fucking lazy and wants to eat a pizza.
I thought you were going to.
I'll tell you which one's winning.
I thought you were going to go a different way, and you were going to say there's two wolves in you, and they're both having sex with each other.
I mean, that too. That's the problem. The one's like, we need to learn, and then the other one's like, we need to learn, and then they have sex. Because the one has a fetish for degradation.
Well, yeah, it's like a daddy issue thing where you're like, oh man, I don't know why I like this asshole, but he's a bad boy. So
like or lick?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, no, but that's kind of how I feel, which is I have this I have this like thirst for knowledge, but I also have like this like crushing like attitude of like I don't fucking care.
Talk about your thirst for knowledge more. I got my 2 wolves out ready
You're too horny.
Ready to go.
It's too horny down here. All right, we're going back to the practice space to record. We're too close together.
No, I just know I'm like, dude, if Zach got kicked out of that, he would just be outside crying all day long. Like, what else do you have to tell me? I've got.
No, I don't cry. I don't have emotions. I'd be out there going, come on, I want to know. Come on. I would just annoy them, and they would let me in finally. And that would be their biggest mistake.
So it took me a second when he said, I have a photographic memory. I literally was like, well, yeah, everyone does. And I realized that what I was thinking was perception, like you identify things, and I'm like, well, that's not.
You're like, well, I remember that I saw a photo once.
Because I was thinking, I'm like, duh, everyone does, and I was thinking about how I go through life, like, yeah, I see a guy's face and identify he's a man. Like, I don't know, like,
oh boy,
I don't know what I thought at first, but I realized I wish I did have a photographic memory. That'd be cool. Awesome.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Do you store all the information forever, or are you like Kelly Bundy where it just forces its way out?
No, I think the photographic memory is like literally saying like it's like you took a photograph and now have that photograph and you can go back and look at it anytime you want.
Oh, it's like, so he's got Facebook head.
Yeah.
Because it saves all the photos?
Well, not if you get hacked.
Oh,
which
and that's
I did.
What Damambu was going to do. He was going to hack his Facebook account.
Yeah.
Damambu's intergalactic Zuck.
Yeah. No, I guess technically speaking, in this analogy, Doctor Strange is Zuck, and Dormammu is like Russian hackers, I guess. I don't know.
I could see that.
I don't know.
SSR, DNA, Mr. DNA.
Yeah.
Those are all...
Or Monsieur DNA, as they call them in France.
Not abbreviations, but, symbols.
Letters.
Oh, shit.
Words.
Like, oh, yeah. I remember seeing those. I have a photographic memory. I've seen those.
I have so many notes, and I haven't checked off any of them yet.
Why don't you check off the box?
Check
off box.
I'm going to check that one off because I'm not actually going to talk about it. So I'll just check it off.
We got the update.
I think it's really cool that... they have the example of like the regular guy who did what most people would have done, which is to get himself fixed and stop there and then leave. But like, obviously this movie is about a superhero, so he doesn't stop there and like does the stuff to like help defend the Earth, whatever. But like, I think it's really cool that they have that example, like the Benjamin Bratt character who's like, yeah, I couldn't walk and then I got myself fixed and now I play basketball. Like,
yeah.
Because that's what you would do.
I mean, you're right. Most people would just stop there.
Yeah, because why wouldn't they?
And old Benji, it was interesting because I had to really pay attention when they were talking about how he, after the first battle when he killed his first man, how he was spineless and a coward because he, like, felt remorse.
He felt bad about murdering?
It was crazy. Like, because you sit there and go, wait, whose side am I on in this argument? I really had a hard time deciding on, like even seeing his point of view on the argument of, like, how Cumberbund wasn't doing this
I think that's the perspective of a soldier, and I think Mordo he's a soldier. He's very strict, he's very rigid, he follows the rules, and that's why he gets so upset when he finds out about the Ancient One siphoning power from like the dark universe to extend her life.
Did she always have that symbol on her brow?
No, it just showed up. It just showed up in the mirror dimension.
Oh, okay. Okay, I thought maybe that's why she wore the hood.
In that fight, it showed up there. No, I don't know why she wore that. Maybe it's just because it was cool.
It was badass.
Right? Yeah. I like Tilda Swinton.
When Tilda Swinton fell, I definitely thought, like, oh, they're just going to keep rushing people to the hospital. I didn't realize that was going to be her death. I was just like, oh, that was a pretty hard fall.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, they're not going to kill her. And then they killed her. I was like, oh, shit, look at that. Dead.
So I like how, and this is a spoiler. Well, you don't know. Never mind. I'm not going to say it because you haven't seen the movie. Never mind. Sorry. I was gonna mention something from Spider-Man No Way Home, but you haven't watched it yet.
Spider-Man?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Because Doctor Strange is a large part of it.
He's in the multiverse.
Of madness.
Of madness, yeah.
Coming out in like a month and a half.
So, what happened real abruptly, and it kind of threw me off, was the cape.
The cape,
like,
yeah.
The cape's badass. Number one, it's just the carpet from Aladdin, by the way.
The cape is his sidekick.
No, I know.
No one gets sidekicks in these movies, but he does.
He gets kicked over the railing, and then the cape goes to rescue him, and he basically comes up and presents the cape as if he's always had it.
Yeah.
He knew how to operate that thing right away.
There's no operating it; it just does what it wants, like the fucking carpet in Aladdin.
I like
you
that,
said.
but once again, I like that they both presented like his arms were out and the cape was out. They're like, yeah, how about this? It's like it was like morphin time, and
that cape is fucking theatrical. It's like I look like a curtain on Broadway, so look how like fucking cool I can be.
Well, I guess that just begs the question: would I be the cape, or would you be the cape? If we're a tag team. In this scenario, who's who?
Well, here's the thing. I think that...
I'm the mouthpiece. I'm Strange.
No. Here's the thing. I think the dynamic between the cape and Strange is exactly how we would react to each other in either role. I think they both fit. Like, both of us could be either of them. Because, like, the fucking cape is all sassy and it's going to do what it wants and try to, like, make him do shit that he doesn't like know he should be doing, and Strange is like, no, I control you. I'm the, So I think like their dynamic is very much you and me, but there is no set like until one of us breaks their hands and learns magic, we don't know who's who.
I have partial magic. I can see a guy's face and identify that he's a man.
That's called vision.
Yeah, he's a character. Just like me. Just like me. But I think ultimately Benjamin Cumbersnatch is English, and I'm 50% Irish.
It is difficult
very close.
You to refer to someone as Benjamin, whose name is not Benjamin, but there is a man named Benjamin in the movie.
It's Benjamin. That's the actor's name, right?
No.
I'm saying Strange?
No, it's not Benedict.
Oh, shit.
That's his name.
Benedict. Okay. My bad. So... whatever I was getting at, I am him, and you're a cape.
You're magic.
I'm magic.
Okay.
That is correct. Now, because you have glasses, you don't have vision, but I can see clearly now.
The rain is gone. Yeah. Look, I get it. Are you bummed at all that there was no like Vision movie? Like he didn't get his own movie?
I don't think he has that he has no not charisma, but I don't care.
He's a little stiff.
Yeah,
I get that.
It'd be hard to follow. Like it would be a lot of people being entertaining around him.
Did you watch Wanda Vision?
No, I did not.
I recommend it. It's very good.
Yeah, I know. I know people want me to watch that movie, or I'm sorry, watch that show.
Yeah, all the Marvel shows that came out last year, I thought were very good.
I do agree that I do not. I mean, Vision was the whole plot, or was a large plot device in Avengers 2, and I think what they did with him in Infinity War was just like, wow, he's very pathetic. Like he really, as soon as it's funny because I guess it's supposed to be intentional. As soon as the more human he gets, the weaker he gets. Like
because he has
that's the point.
Because he has that weakness of humanity and like caring about people and that kind of thing. But also, I think,
but even his powers are limited.
Well, I think it's funny that
like he can't. He's like, they stopped me from phasing. How is that? And you're like, wait, what? How?
I think it's interesting that they like took him off the board for Infinity War because they knew that Thanos needed to get the Mind Stone from him. And so they're like, we'll just hide you and he won't be able to get it and that'll be that. But like Vision really was like one of, if not the most powerful of all of them.
Exactly.
So like they should have sent him out. Him and Wanda both because her powers are like
Mind Stone, yeah.
Well, partially. And you see that in WandaVision, you get a lot more of her backstory because it really is like her story, like that show, which is really interesting. But like, she's incredibly powerful too. That like the two of them to like taken off the board was just like real. It was like tying a hand behind your back.
And I don't mind what they did with Vision. Oh, we'll make him inoperable. But it's just the way they did it. Like, even if they said, like, oh, there's something on the spear that was stabbed through him that makes him stop phasing, whatever. If they would have spent a little bit of time with a backstory of how Thanos came up with that device.
I think they tried to like brush it off. So like, oh, this happened. How did it happen? We don't know. Like it's so advanced that they can't even figure it out.
I don't know. It seems like as big of an issue as, oh, Thor loses his strength. How did that happen? Like that's what's kind of like, oh no, you need to do a little more than that. Like than just, oh, he doesn't have strength anymore. Yeah. Like why? Or like, oh, Tony Stark can't access his armor. You're like, oh shit, why? Like. Yeah, you can't just be like, oh.
Well, like Iron Man 3 does a really great job of that. Like he gets, his house gets attacked and like bombed, and he like is in the suit and shoots himself off.
Loses his mojo.
Yeah, and then he has to hang out with that kid.
Same scenario as Austin Powers 2. Like they stole the concept from the movie.
They stole his mojo, baby. Yeah. Do I make you horny?
Have you ever noticed the similarities in that?
Do I make you Randy?
Like in Iron Man 3, he loses his mojo, just like in Austin Powers 2, and they were both filmed.
Now, hang on.
I noticed that because I have a photographic memory.
Are you kidding me?
I saw that they were acting, and I went, that's an actor. And I was like, boom.
Boom.
Busted.
Actor. Acting. It's a movie. It's not real. It's not happening. It's not a documentary.
I'm so good at being a photographic memory haver.
So I think aside from the first 4 movies that we did, this and the previous movie, actually this so Ant-Man happens, and then Captain America: Civil War, then Doctor Strange, then Guardians 2, then Spiderman Homecoming. So we're getting actually the next couple movies are all every other movie is one we're doing. So it's like they're introducing new characters much more quickly than they have since that very first phase, which I think is really interesting because they had to quickly get up to speed to get all of these new characters in for Infinity War, because it has to be this massive event. So you have to have all these people,
I watched Civil War as well.
It's so good.
It's my favorite one, dude.
It's so good.
It is. It's just my favorite one.
Well, I feel like the Captain Americas.
I don't care that it didn't need all the characters.
When you watch
such a good story.
When you watch the different Captain Americas, each one you're like, oh man, I forgot how good this was. All 3 of them.
I watched Winter Soldier 2. I watched Avengers 2. I actually watched a lot of them in the weekly.
Yeah, I've missed a bunch. The last one I watched, I did the Avengers, and then I haven't gotten through anything else aside from what we've done.
I always loved Infinity War more than Endgame because I thought I liked that it was a tragic ending. I thought there was more storytelling. Cool. But now that I watch them more and more, I do like Endgame just because of how much of a build. Because it is the climax.
I think I've only seen it the one time.
The one thing I dislike, I'm sorry, I like the Thanos character in Infinity War much more than Endgame.
Yeah.
And I will give it credit. I think that he is gaining comfort as he gains the stones, and that's the difference. Is that the other one's more reckless and youthful, and he doesn't have the education. He doesn't have the accomplishment of collecting the stones. He basically steals them. He's so pompous that oh look, I had them in the future, so I deserve them. It's two different.
He's worse.
It's two different Thanos. But for a while I didn't like that about the Endgame Thanos, but now I'm kind of I appreciate it
because he's more brutal too.
He is more naive. And one thing I never considered, and I can't remember if I brought up on the show or not, is that because the last thing he saw was his head being cut off. If you notice in Endgame, he wears his helmet the whole time in the battle, and he doesn't in Infinity War. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
because he's like, oh shit, my head gets lopped off.
Yeah,
he was nervous.
Yeah.
Anywho,
this whole arc of movies, it's a lot of fun. It is really impressive the way that they've managed to string out all these storylines from all these different disparate characters and movies and put together this massive thing. It really is the first time I've seen movies really emulate the comic book the way that comic books do it. Because I know and this is DC, but I know in the Superman Doomsday thing, it crossed over so many different books and different characters and Justice League, and there was all this all across the universe stuff that I always thought was the most engaging and interesting because you can have a small scale Batman story that's really cool and really well written and awesome, but like some of my favorite ones are the big like universe spanning, where everyone gets involved and it's all these moving parts that have to come together to make it work. And this is the first time I saw it in movies, and I think that's really neat that they've accomplished that.
Me too.
I love it. So I know that there are obviously consequences to like meddling with time,
but not in the mirror dimension.
Here's the thing, though. It seems like it's the solution to most of the problems in this movie is like just use the time stone.
Not allowed.
You could literally fix every single thing that happened with the time stone.
Not allowed,
like you could,
man.
and that would be it.
And then Baron's gonna get pissed.
His name's Mordo.
It's not in the mirror dimension,
especially in the mirror dimension.
He says, I mean, you're absolutely right about the fucking time stone. Really, that's the most powerful. Infinity Stone is like, just undo everything.
Exactly.
All the fucking time.
As long as the time stone exists, as long as you have the time stone, just zip everything back.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing. Is like,
why not?
It's almost like speeding. You're like, well, no one saw me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's against the rule, but like, what are the consequences really?
So, okay, well, just back into Infinity War for just a second.
Yeah, when he does undoes it.
Okay, so Thanos has the Infinity Gauntlet. He's got the stones in it. He's missing the time stone.
He's got 2 daughters.
He's 2 daughters. Yep. He's at the point where he doesn't have the time stone yet. Can't they just go to the places where he got the stones?
No.
They just send them there, and then Doctor Strange just spins back the clock on...
No. You are in a car, and you're driving, and then you see it says speed limit 35. You're not going... You're not going 36.
Let me tell you something.
You're not going 36.
It sounded like you were about to start doing that fucking monologue from Inception.
Oh.
You're waiting for a train. I was like, oh God, am I in...
I wish I would have done that.
Have I been incepted?
I've only seen that movie once.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I've only seen it once.
Wow.
I just never watched it again. After we watched it, and I said it was mind-blowing.
You were like, it's incredible.
And then I watched The Prestige. I always watched The Prestige.
Twice in one day.
I just watched The Prestige instead. Every time I'm like, I should watch Inception, I'm like, or I'll just watch Prestige.
And Inception's good.
Prestige is great.
Ugh. Hard to beat.
Speaking of beat, if you masturbate in the mirror dimension, it's not a sin. You can do anything. They literally said there's everything in there. It
doesn't affect the real world.
So you could just go in there and that's where you're unfaithful. You go in there with prostitutes, and then God doesn't know, your wife doesn't know, if the prostitute is your sister, your dad doesn't know, and all kinds of shit. That's like, it's like uncharted waters, or what's it called?
I don't know where you're going with this.
No, I'm saying like
too horny.
It doesn't affect anything, so you can do whatever you want. You could bring a goat in there.
But why would you? To what end?
Eat it whole. I mean, you're hungry. Eat it.
Ooh, I got my daily goat. I got my dinner goat ready.
Like the T-Rex would do it. He'd bring in his goat, and he'd be like, "Oh, thank God." He's like, "I'm cheating on my diet of people. I just want to eat that goat."
So we haven't talked a lot about the villain of this movie, Mads Mikkelsen.
Mom would do? Oh yeah.
No, not Dormammu. Mads Mikkelsen.
Mads, yeah.
I think he is
Cloudicus.
Sailor. I don't know. But I think Mads Mikkelsen is such a good actor for a villain, and I think they don't use him enough in this movie, and it really bums me out.
Did I miss it when I was watching the middle at the end? When did he get the black eyes?
Gradually. They were like the purpley.
Okay, it got worse.
It was gradually.
Right?
Yeah,
it got worse.
Everyone's did.
In the beginning, I remember that he had those eyes, and I was like, oh, okay, at some point he must get it.
So that was like as he communicated more with Dormammu and like the dark dimension or whatever, like it was like, that was it like bleeding into him or whatever, I guess. You know, the purpley, glittery, like.
How did he get a hold of him?
He took that page.
Yeah, but what, I mean.
That's it. That's Dormammu's phone number, basically. And he's like, I'm going to text this dude. I'm going to see if he's DTF. I like how
he took it so no one else could call him, too. Wouldn't he want them to call him?
No, because he wants to, because no one would do it. What's funny, though, is like,
take a picture of
Doctor Strange is right. Why didn't he just take the whole fucking book?
I don't know.
There's so much more in there. It's so short-sighted and stupid.
He's in a rush, and he only had one pocket.
So, I've got a couple more notes before we do our tropes, but I think we can breeze through those. So we haven't seen Mordo show up in any subsequent Marvel movies, right?
Who?
Baron.
Baron?
Fuck you. His name's Mordo.
The Baron.
So do you think he'll show up in Multiverse of Madness?
I did look up the end credit sequence.
Yeah.
That's not in the movie I watched, where he takes the guys. Have you seen that?
It is. It is.
Oh, it wasn't. It was in.
So
the
there's
after.
the mid credit, and then there's the second one.
Okay, so okay, never
Yeah,
mind. Never
there
mind.
is a
So
second one.
So
yeah, exactly. So I think like it seems like they're setting it up a plot line in the post credit scene. Like I'm not familiar enough with like Marvel lore to know if there's like if he has a story or not, but like it seems like he's out hunting sorcerers or whatever, and that's a thing that's gonna have a consequence later.
It's kind of neat because it's
kind
of an anti-hero.
Yeah. But yeah. So I don't know. Like I don't know enough about Marvel stuff to know like, oh, is he a part of Multiverse of Madness or whatever?
Well, you're coming to the right place because
you're an expert.
I've seen him. I know what he does. Know what he's capable.
You know how to say his name wrong.
Imagine he's waiting for a train, and he gets on the train, and the train's only going 35 miles an hour.
You're waiting for
that
a train.
Train is not going 36.
You don't know. I don't remember what he says.
You don't know how to pronounce his name.
Oh. I definitely forgot how much they talk about the multiverse in this movie.
Yep.
And like I feel like it's
a nice setup. You're like, okay,
the
cool.
recent turn that Marvel like has taken shouldn't have been like a big surprise because of how much they talk about it in this movie.
Absolutely.
It's
and
funny.
Once again, this is one of those movies where I guess I didn't pay attention enough because I didn't care enough about it because I was watching it just to watch it. And then you realize there's so many little...
much to it.
I wouldn't even call them Easter eggs. There's so much prelude to, hey, get ready, this is going to be... Same thing with Guardians. Same thing with Guardians of the Galaxy. Hey, why do you care about this Infinity Stone? Because it's going to be super fucking important
Cosmic stuff and mystical stuff. It opens up crazy different worlds.
Because the Power Stone, it's such a generic... And like you were saying, like energy. Like a couple episodes ago, like everything's about energy. The Power Stone, you're like, oh, just a disposable villain with a super ring, whatever. And you don't realize that until later that the card they were playing was so they could bridge the gap, so you understand what the fuck's about to happen. They've got
to set up all the little stuff so we understand it in the big story later.
You appreciate it so much more, and all these characters are prevalent. And Guardians of the Galaxy, I even thought was like, oh, what a Marvel cash grab.
Yeah.
Now when I watched it, I was like, oh, it's pretty entertaining.
It was a lot of fun.
I like the characters, but once again, I'm still thinking, oh, they're just collecting money for this. Not they're telling a giant story.
Yeah,
you don't see it yet.
Which like. Early on, it was like, oh, it's Joss Whedon is going to be the guy to like unite all this stuff and kind of keep a rein on all the story stuff. And he left Marvel after Age of Ultron, and he had some like, some stuff come up or whatever.
Well, I mean, he was on the fence.
I don't know what that means.
He's Sweden.
That's not Sweden.
Geography.
That's Switzerland, number one.
What's
would have been good if it was Sweden though?
What if it was Switzerland though?
But like since then, it's like Kevin Feige, like the
wait, what did Sweden do in the war?
Joss Whedon?
No, what? Okay, what? He was dead. I mean, no, he wasn't alive. That's not the same thing.
We're not.
But what? Where is Sweden?
Europe.
A brother of my native Irishman.
So like Kevin Feige having like this more like wider view of the universe and the stories he wanted to tell like through it all, I think got really it made it so much more like textured and interesting, and like it makes it so like even like trivial details of stuff are important later, and they have to go back and like retcon some stuff like the Infinity Gauntlet you saw in like Odin's like treasure room or whatever.
I did like that. I can't remember. Was it in the room before Hela comes in and goes fake, which is a good which is a smart smart move.
Which that's how they retcon it and take it back and go like, yep, that's not real.
I honestly couldn't remember if that was
which
the
is
first
funny,
time you saw it or not. So good for them.
Yeah, they commented on it because it was in a previous.
Just like what you said about Tony Stark, like how they bridged the gap was like they set Tony Stark up for a failure to get the Abomination.
Exactly.
That's a fucking intelligent move. So nice.
So it's really smart the way they're kind of retconning some of these things that didn't exactly sit with the current vision of like the universe, but I think it's really interesting the way they're doing it.
Vision is dead.
You're not right about that. So maybe you should watch that show.
Don't tell me about Spider-Man.
Not Spider-Man.
Won't bring it up again.
You want to get into these tropes?
No.
Well, this movie got nothing to do with science.
I want to talk more about how the mirror dimension, you can commit no sin in it.
Yeah, I don't want to have more converse. I don't want
international waters.
I no longer want to
say.
Listen to you monologuing about how you can have incest in the mirror dimension.
All the things you can do in that mirror dimension.
All right, list them off. 1,
goat,
2,
dinosaur,
3,
sex,
5,
dinosaur,
4.
You pull the goat back in.
God damn, you really can do anything.
And repeat. No, there's no science in this.
There's no science in this movie, so it can't go wrong.
The closest thing is that he's
medicine. He's a doctor. No, there's no science gone wrong.
I do like that he pulled the fucking medicinal Thor move and overcharged himself to kill the fucking the bad guy.
Yeah, that was good.
The zealot.
Yeah.
But I was like, he's like overcharged me. I'm like, oh, okay, this is cute. This is like
cool.
the Iron Man Thor thing.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
I don't know the answer to 2. Did he talk about his family?
No one knows.
So it's just no.
Yeah.
No, because we don't know.
They might be alive. They might be dead. It's not relevant. They don't mention it.
I mean, they're shitty. They're dead to him because they didn't come by when he had
those fucked up hands.
Yeah, that was hard to watch when he was looking at his hands. Even though he's
really arrogant and smug,
an egomaniac. Like, it was really sad. I love that he was diagnosing the whole time. I love that he's like, you fucking ruined me. Like, no one could have done better. He's like, I could. Like it.
Yeah. Because it's like, no, he's the guy who could have done it, and his hands are destroyed, so he's fucked.
Yeah.
All right, number 3, Journey of Self-Discovery. Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is one of the best examples of a journey of self-discovery, I think, because his hands, his career is who he is. And when he can't do that anymore, he has to, find something else within himself and in the greater world.
Absolutely. Well, not even world.
Oh.
Intergalactic, universal,
mirror
dimension, mirror, masturbation.
Number 4?
No, and I'm cool with that. He's not charismatic.
You know what?
He's a fucking asshole.
Here's the thing. There are moments where I almost checked off charismatic hero, but the more I thought,
it's not charismatic. He's the hero, eventually.
He is at points very charismatic, but
he's charming. That's not the same thing.
It's far overwhelmed by his arrogance.
Exactly.
He's so much more arrogant than he is ever charismatic, And I think that's really important to know.
And once again, being earnest is not the same as being charismatic.
Sure. Like, I think charming and charismatic are a lot closer, but,
it never. Yeah, you're right. It never quite hit exactly charismatic.
Because that point when he's doing the surgery and they're playing the music and he's naming the songs, like he's charismatic
Suave.
there. He's charismatic there, but he's also so arrogant about I know everything. I know
he
this.
Did
of
the
course,
whole Jedi feel the Force with that bullet. By the way, that tiny bullet. That was a tiny bullet.
I think that was like a 9mm. Like they're small.
How big they are?
Yeah, they're small.
I've never seen one inside someone's head.
I've only seen him inside someone's head.
Oh, yeah, you're the bad surgeon.
Okay, fine. Oh, okay.
I put this bullet in here.
He's dead. He's dead.
And my patient died. I've only seen it like this.
Will they, won't they? Number 5.
No.
Oh, I said yes.
Oh,
because Rachel McAdams, because he leaves her and then they end up getting together in the end.
No, they didn't.
Well, they kissed. Yeah, absolutely they did. There was a whole thing of like he pushes her away, she tries to help.
But he doesn't like. But you know what? It doesn't mean they have to stay together at the end. Okay,
no, but I think it's a will they, won't they?
Gotcha. I'm changing mine.
Aha! All right, impactful death.
Of course.
Yes, the ancient one, very impactful. Mm-hmm. The death of his career, if you want to count that.
Tildy.
Number 7 reveals identity. I mean, in as much as he introduces himself the same way as Captain America.
Back to it,
Mr. Doctor.
He wants to bargain.
Dormammu. He doesn't even introduce himself to Dormammu.
To me.
I've come to bargain.
I love how he's always fucking saying he's the doctor all the time.
Yep.
I'm a goddamn doctor.
Yep. Well, I thought it was really funny that like when he goes initially to like Camertage, like Tilda Swinton's like, he's like, doctor. And she's like, well, not anymore. And it's like, look, just because you're not a practicing doctor doesn't mean you don't have your doctorate and PhD. Like, you are still a doctor. Like, regardless, you still have earned that title.
No.
I say yes.
I like the move. She was like, listen, I shaved.
She put him in his place.
I fucking shaved my head.
She put him
I'm
in
no
his
longer
place,
human.
sure.
You are not a doctor.
Number 8, introduce new hero character.
No.
I mean, Wong comes back. Like, he's part of it, but he's a big part of the movie. Yeah. Like, that's one that's like, I don't think so.
Same thing with Dormammu.
Well, no, Dormammu's just like the enemy, which is interesting, but like,
barely in it.
Number 9, villain is the evil version of the hero. Yes.
Yeah.
Because literally, Mads Mikkelsen was doing what Doctor Strange was doing. He was training to do that, of course.
Yeah. And then you got purple eye disease.
Which the thing
That's
about
what
it is,
happens if you sleep on, if they get poop particles on a pillow, you worship Dormammu.
Yes.
In the Marvel Universe.
So, like, the trope that I hate the most out of all of these is the...
Dead parents?
No, is the villain is the evil version of the hero. Why? I hate that.
Because they always are?
I think that ruins it. I think that's so bad. But, like, in this case, it checks the box, but it works. Because it's not like Stain putting on his own suit, making some upgrades of his own.
I don't know.
It's not like the fucking...
I think it would have been great on Winter Soldier. That's badass, having the evil fucking Captain America. I think that works. Where as a Red Skull, it was more like, just generic 2-1's fighting. Like, I think Bucky's somehow a better villain, and I love that he's the bizarro Captain America.
Well, but only in the way that, like, he's another super soldier that got, like, brainwashed and stuff. And that's more complex and interesting because it is his friend who got turned into the enemy. That's a much more interesting story than like, he puts on a similar suit and fights him, and it's lame. Which it's the same as this, which is like, it's another guy who was like part of the team that is now like, no, I'm evil. Which I think that's a really cool move.
Part of a cult. I'm not part of a cult. That's what someone would say if they were in a cult.
Sounds like a cult. Yeah. That was pretty fun. Yeah, but that's the one that I dislike the most in general. But I actually think even though this movie checks it off, it's fine. It doesn't matter. And I think as we've like moved further and with each like jumping across the phases, so this is the second movie in phase 3, I think they've learned a lot of lessons about these like tropes and like cliches that they had done before that, it's making it a lot more interesting and worth watching.
I'd watch it.
You did.
Done.
But that's what's cool about it is like these tropes were a problem with, the Marvel movies to start out, and as they get further from the beginning, it just gets like they've learned like, we don't want to keep doing the same thing like it is, an issue for our movies. Oh, goodness. So what are we doing next?
I think Black Panther.
No, you're wrong. It's Spiderman Homecoming.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Neat.
I love this one. And I think what's really cool about this movie is that while it is the first standalone Spider-Man movie in the MCU, it is not his introduction. So he's already been in a movie. We've already seen him. We're not getting an origin story. Like, I think that's really cool, and I think it's a really interesting take and a great way to go with it.
I actually watched that one too, so I get to watch it again.
Nice. Yeah, I'm excited to watch that one. And I wish No Way Home would come out so I could watch it again, because I really, really enjoyed it, and I would like to watch it again.
I can't wait to see it.
Well, you can, because you did.
I've waited to see it.
You saw Batman.
Batman, that's not even in this universe, but it was pretty good. Almost great. And it was great.
I think it's supposed to be on HBO Max next month, and I'm excited to watch it again.
The Chris thumbs up, the royal foam thumbs up.
Ooh, the big foam finger thumbs up.
Finger thumbs up.
I gotta get you one of those.
You gotta check it out.
I give it the dog dick seal of approval.
Oh yeah, fur.
All right, so we've only got 4 movies left in this season. Then we got to figure out what the fuck we're gonna do next, and that's a conversation we can have off air. And with that, you got anything else before we go?
Nope.
All right, well, fuck you then. How about
Thanks,
that?
everybody.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Tell your friends about us, and be sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. If you like what we do, you can rate and review us on Apple Podcasts. You can find us online at KeystoneCopycats.com. We're at Keystone Copycats on Instagram and Facebook, and at Keystone Copycat on Twitter. If you got something to say, you can email us at KeystoneCopycats@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at 513-239-7682. Don't forget to check out Sinclarity Dinosaur's Tale. And until next time, I'm going to be taking a nap. Call me the Knapsack.
And call me Clisack.
Huh.
Bye.